Look, it's almost midnight. That cake better be here. I want this to be the best bicentennial celebration this town's ever had. What? Oh, I know it can only have one bicentennial. That's not the point. The point is, you just better not be late. How's Shep doing with the cannon?
Fine, since the last time I talked to him.
It's 3 minutes till midnight. I want that cannon to be shot at exactly the stroke of midnight, not a second before or after. The entire celebration depends on the cannon being fired at exactly the right time.
I understand.
The cannon will shoot, then the balloons are released. The fireworks go off, the band starts playing, and I have a fresh cup of coffee in my hand. But everything starts with the cannon.
As the town's biggest and only movie star, it is my job to start the countdown. Is everybody ready?
Yeah! Shep better be ready.
Okay.
Go.
10, 9, 8.
Shep's on the phone.
Just tell him to get ready to fire the cannon.
3, 2, 1.
Shep's late. I can't believe it.
Let's try it again. 3, 2, 1. Oh no, the party's ruined! Boy, that was close. I thought we were starting the big 200th anniversary without the cannon, but it worked out okay.
Great party, Cramwood.
Thank you!
It's not great. It's not perfect. I told Shep to fire the cannon at exactly the stroke of midnight.
Wow, he was pretty close.
Pretty close doesn't cut it with me. This tarnishes my reputation. It could ruin me.
Allow me to introduce myself. Doug Savage, Science Court attorney.
I can't believe I'm being sued. This is crazy, isn't it?
I'm afraid not. Apparently, Sasha Meany blames you for firing the cannon late, ruining the celebration, and putting a blemish on her spotless reputation. Sasha wants you to publicly admit that it was your fault the cannon was late. She wants you to take out a full-page ad in the newspaper.
Me in the newspaper? Wow. But wait a minute. That could cost a lot of money. And I didn't do anything wrong. I fired the cannon at exactly 12 midnight.
Exactly?
Exactly?
Exactly.
You weren't late with the cannon because you wanted to get back at Sasha, were you?
No.
We know she can be pretty difficult.
Sure, she's pretty and difficult, but I fired the cannon on time, Miss Crumple. I don't know why they didn't hear it until 10 seconds later.
I do.
You do?
Sure. It all has to do with the way sound travels.
Oh, well, will you help me?
Sure, Shep. We'll help you.
Hello and welcome to Science Court, where science is the law and scientific thinking rules. I'm Jen Betters reporting, and today we have a case that I hear will be very interesting. Oh, here comes Judge Stone.
All rise, and not too fast, you'll get dizzy.
Okay, thank you, Stenographer Fred. Welcome, everyone. So, why don't we get right to it? Mr. Savage, you're representing Sasha Meany, is that correct?
That's right, Your Honor.
And Ms. Crumple, you're representing Shep Sherman. Is he here?
No, Your Honor, he's late.
Guilty. Trial's over. Start walking for the door.
Mr. Savage, just because the man is late doesn't mean he's guilty. Get back to your seats. We still have to have a trial.
Oh, all right.
And let's start with your opening statement.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we will show that Shep Sherman, the man who is late today, was also late in firing the cannon on the night of the bicentennial and ruined the celebration.
I had a great time.
Objection! I believe that statement is biased against my client, and I ask that the jury disregard it.
Mr. Savage, you're absolutely right. When you're right, you're right. I ask the jury to disregard my comment. You gotta love this jury. Continue, Mr. Savage.
Thank you. Because Shep was late, Sasha Meany's reputation has been sullied, soiled, stained, tarnished, dirtied, blemished, and, wait a minute. Sullied, soiled, stained, tarnished, dirtied, blemished. I guess that's it.
Thank you, Mr. Savage.
Ruined. Sullied, soiled, stained, tarnished, dirtied, blemished, ruined.
Okay, I think we got it. Thank you. Ms. Crumple, your opening statement, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. We will show that my client, Shep Sherman, fired the cannon at exactly the right time and that there is a scientific explanation for the 10-second delay.
Sounds good. Mr. Savage, call your first witness.
Thank you. I call Sasha Meany to the stand. Ms. Meany, at what time was the cannon supposed to be fired on the night in question?
At 12 midnight, exactly.
And what time did you actually hear the boom from the cannon?
10 seconds after midnight.
Thank you, that's all.
Aren't you going to ask me how this botched event will affect my business?
You already told me.
Shouldn't I tell the jury?
Oh, they don't want to hear that. Do you?
Well, my reputation is at stake. Because of Shep's error, I could lose millions of dollars in future jobs.
Do you hear that? Thank you.
Miss Meany, what makes you think Shep didn't fire the cannon at exactly midnight?
We didn't hear the boom until 10 seconds after midnight.
And all the clocks and watches were synchronized?
Yes.
Does that mean you put them in the sink?
No, synchronized means that all the clocks showed the exact same time.
Oh, yeah, synchronized. I thought you said schminktonized.
We know, Mr. Savage. We know.
I call Shep Sherman to the stand. Oh, where is he? Do you know where he is? I'll tell you where he is. He's guilty, that's where he is.
Hey, sorry I'm late.
Shep, what happened? This doesn't look good.
You mean the shirt?
Never mind. Take the stand.
Shep, please tell this courtroom what time it was when you fired the cannon the night of the bicentennial celebration.
It was midnight exactly.
12 midnight?
Well, that's the only midnight I know of.
Oh, right. Well, how come the boom of the cannon wasn't heard until a full 10 seconds after midnight?
I guess it all has to do with the way sound travels.
Objection!
You're objecting to the witness answering your own question?
Oh, that doesn't make sense, does it? Forget I said that. Stenographer Fred, please strike that from the record.
I don't have to. I didn't write it.
Shep, isn't it true you wrote a letter to the newspaper that said something about time and relaxing?
Well, yeah. I mean, I just want people to stop rushing around and to start living in the moment. Appreciate what they have now.
So in other words, you think people are controlled by the clock. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that why you were late in firing the cannon?
I wasn't late. I told you it has something to do with the way sound travels.
But I was there. I heard the shot at 10 seconds after midnight with my own ears. Your Honor, this is about as open and shut as a case can get.
I assume then that you're resting your case?
Oh, I'm doing more than resting my case, Your Honor. I'm tucking it in and kissing it goodnight.
Wonderful. Ms. Krempel, you're up.
Thank you, Your Honor. Shep, please tell us what happened on the night in question.
Well, I was up on the hill with the cannon. I was keeping a close eye on my watch, even though I don't like doing that. At exactly midnight, I hit the button and the cannon went off.
Did it make a sound?
Oh, yeah, a loud boom. It sounded like a cannon going off.
Boom! That's the way I heard it.
Thank you. Your Honor, I call sound wave expert Professor Parsons to the stand.
Top of the morning, all. Hello, how are you? I'm waving. Because I'm a waving expert. Get it? Waving expert.
Thank you, Professor Parsons. Could you please explain how sound gets from one place to another?
What?
I said, can you show us how sound...
I'm sorry, what?
I said, can you show us how sound waves...
Yes, I heard you. I'm kidding. It's a sound joke. See, you said sound, and I said what? As if I didn't hear you.
I get it.
Come on, lighten up. Life's too short.
That's what I told them.
Okay, let's keep this moving. Could you answer the question?
Oh, certainly. That's what I'm here for, right? Answering the questions. Luckily, I brought my tank of water with me today. All right. Now, let's say this pencil that I'm poking the water with is the cannon. You see the little waves moving away from the pencil?
Yeah.
I was talking to the jury.
Oh.
Well, if this pencil was indeed a cannon going off, those water waves would be similar to sound waves leaving the cannon.
You lost me. Stenographer Fred, could you read that back to me, please?
Okay. Cannon, the leaving wave sound be would those off?
No, Fred. He doesn't mean read it backwards.
Oh, okay, sorry. If this pencil was indeed a cannon going off, those water waves would be similar to sound waves leaving the cannon.
Objection!
What? I read it right.
Maybe pencils can make water waves, but sound is invisible and fast, and it doesn't make waves like that.
Yes, it can.
No, it can't.
Yes, it can.
Yes, it can.
I know it can.
You were supposed to say it can't.
Order, order! Okay, you two, stop making waves. Can sound make waves like water waves in the water? That's the question. Let's take a break while everybody thinks about it.
Wow. Doug and Allison are sure making waves in the courtroom today. They've been arguing about whether or not it's possible for sound to make waves in the air. Courtside commentators, what do you think?
Ask me a question about my new movie.
I'm sorry, do I know you?
Court's in session. No more noise like the thing I'm just doing. None of this even.
Thank you, Stenographer Fred. Now, the question is, can sound make waves like water waves in the water? Professor Parsons, can you help us out here?
Absolutely. I have here a tuning fork. Tapping this will produce a small musical tone.
And why do we hear that sound?
Well, the tuning fork vibrates and creates sound waves that travel to our ears.
And what does this have to do with water?
Well, I tap it and put it in the water, and look, the vibrations make waves. Not sound waves, but water waves that act much like sound waves. How it all works out.
Thank you. No more questions.
But I have some questions.
Well, then you can cross-examine.
What does that mean again?
You can ask more questions.
Oh, that's right. I love that. So, Professor Parsons, we meet again.
I don't like your tone, young man. No, I guess we do. I'm kidding.
Professor, if that really is your name, you are saying that sound is a wave like water waves are waves, correct?
Correcto.
And water waves go through water, correct?
Right again.
And so if sound is a wave, it has to travel through some stuff that can get all wavy.
That's right.
What if I told you that's nothing but a pack of lies?
Huh?
I have here a big gong. Michaela, would you be so kind as to bang the gong for me, please?
Sure. Everybody ready?
Thank you.
Mr. Savage, would you repeat that? And next time you plan to make a loud noise, please warn us.
Oh, sorry. Well, what I said was, there's no stuff between the jury and the gong, but they still heard the sound. How did the wavy sound waves wave over there?
Mr. Savage, you're missing the point here.
You're wrong, Professor, when you say that sound travels in waves and has to go through something.
Me? Wrong? What? No, that's ridiculous.
Well, there's nothing here for the waves to go through. No water, no nothing. Just air.
Exactly.
Exactly what do you mean by exactly?
Mr. Savage, what are you breathing?
Air?
Right. Air is the stuff that the sound waves are moving through.
I love air!
Oh, now I've heard everything. I didn't see any waves rolling around in the courtroom. Did you, jury?
No. Professor, do you have another example that might help?
Oh, sure, I have examples. Plenty of examples. I'm full of them.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm removing the air from this jar with the alarm clock in it. Now, the alarm is set to go off in about, 3, 2, now.
Boy, that's what I need, a silent alarm clock.
But I don't hear anything. What's going on?
What a fabulous question, Doug. What's going on? Why doesn't the clock in Professor Parsons' experiment make any sound? Does sound need something to carry it? Courtside commentators, what do you think about this?
Well, I'm going to explain it to you. Sound waves need to move through something, like air, to get to our ears. You can actually feel the sound waves going through the air if you stand next to a car with the tunes cranked up. Play that funky music.
Okay, I get it now. I call Michaela to the stand.
What?
Only take a minute. Michaela.
What?
Thank you, that's all. See, Michaela heard me call her name at the moment I said it. Because sound moves through the air so fast, you can't even measure it.
Yes, you can. Your Honor, Mr. Savage doesn't know what he's talking about.
So?
He's right, Miss Crumple. It doesn't matter. It's his case. Continue.
Thank you. Now, Shep's cannon was late because it was fired late, and I'm about to prove it. Now, I hand one clock to Michaela and ask her to hold it. Then I ask Fred to put the other clock way up in the rafters at the back of the courtroom.
Are you crazy? I'm not going up there.
Are you afraid of heights?
No, I'm afraid of falling.
Can you get me a ladder and I'll go up there myself?
Make sure the clocks are synchronized.
They're synchronized. The alarm clock is set to go off in 3 minutes. Boy, this is really high. Yes, see? The sound waves from the alarm clock moved so fast they were instantaneous. At the same moment this clock struck 12, we heard the alarm from the other one. Sound moves fast, not slow like waves. Now I really rest my case. Miss Kremple, I suggest you do the same.
Hardly. Your Honor, with the court's permission, I'd like to do a demonstration of my own.
Court?
Thank you. Now, stenographer Fred, will you give us a hand, please?
As long as I don't have to climb a ladder.
You don't. Just a hill. Carry this gong and this clock outside, up to the top of the courthouse hill.
But that's a mile away.
That's right. I want you to bang the gong at exactly 1 o'clock.
You mean like this?
Phew, at least we know how loud the gong is, right, Mr. Savage?
What?
Michaela, would you like to go with stenographer Fred and help him out?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Tim, synchronize the clocks. Give one to Michaela and stenographer Fred, and they can start walking.
I have to warn you, I get car sick.
We're not driving. We're walking.
I missed the little guy already. Okay, sorry. I'll be all right. What now, Miss Crumble?
I'm going to time it.
Time what?
You'll see.
Whew, that was tough.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
It's almost time. Ready, Freddy?
Yep.
As Fred and Michaela get ready to bang the gong, let's hear what you, our courtside commentators, predict about what will happen in court. Will Judge Stone's courtroom hear the gong at precisely 1 o'clock when Fred and Michaela strike it? What do you think?
3, 2, 1. Hit it!
Hey, they didn't hit it on time.
5 seconds.
What?
Tim, do you have your calculator?
Sure.
Okay. If Fred is 1 mile away and the sound took 5 seconds to get here, how long would it take sound waves to travel through the air from the cannon to the town common, which are 2 miles apart?
That's easy.
10 seconds.
Hey, Tim, how fast would those sound waves be traveling?
About 700 miles an hour, or about 300 meters per second.
Wow. Very fast. 700? But that's illegal, isn't it?
Not for sound, Doug.
Well, very impressive demonstrations. How about topping it off with some closing comments? Mr. Savage, give it your best shot.
Thank you, Your Honor. 200 years ago, this town was just a couple of log cabins, a few dead horses, and a dream.
The short version, please.
Oh, Shep's guilty.
Thank you. Miss Kremple, your closing argument, please.
Thank you. Shep Sherman believes that sometimes we need to slow down and enjoy life, not be such a slave to the clock. I agree. But regardless of how Shep feels about clocks and time, the fact is, he did fire the cannon at exactly 12 midnight on the night of the celebration. But because he was 2 miles away from the town commons, nobody heard it until 10 seconds after midnight. Sound travels in waves at more than 700 miles per hour. That's roughly 5 seconds a mile, as long as it has something to travel through like air.
Why are you putting those earplugs in?
You'll see.
When sound must go from point A to point B, it's not instantaneous. Actually, the sound moves like water waves moving through ocean. They take their own time in their own wavy motion. Sound waves won't wave unless they wave through some nice thick stuff like air.
Kick it in. All right.
Sound waves won't wave unless they wave through some nice thing. Stuff like air. I love singing. All right.
Okay. Jury, the case is all yours. Science court is adjourned until the jury reaches a verdict.
Well, the jury has the case. Let's talk to some of the participants while we wait. Here's Shep Sherman. Shep, how do you think the case will go?
Well, I think that the scientific laws of sound prove that I'm right.
Wow, sounds like you've learned something. Oh, here's Sasha Meany. Ms. Meany, what do you think of your case?
Is this guy for real?
Afraid so. Thank you, Shep. Thank you, Sasha. Well, both sides have presented some sound evidence. But whose case will the jury favor? Let's hear what you, our courtside commentators, predict about the verdict. Will the jury find Shep Sherman guilty or not guilty of firing the cannon after midnight? Uh-oh. I just got word that the jury has reached a verdict.
Okay, jury, let me hear you.
Are you superstitious?
No, I'm just really unlucky.
We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty.
Yeah!
I'm not the defendant!
Want to pretend you are?
Ugh. Thank you, jury. Great job.
One more thing.
Of course.
The evidence shows that Shep fired the cannon on time, but because of the way sound travels, it only appeared that he fired it late.
Well, thanks for clarifying that.
One more thing.
Sure. I live alone. No one's expecting me.
We feel that Sasha could have figured out that the cannon should have been fired 10 seconds early.
Good point. Done?
Done.
Fred, dismiss science court. Fred?
Yeah, most kids just dream about becoming a stenographer, but I did something about it. Because I'm a doer. I take the bull by the horns. A stenographer's gotta be a doer.
Yeah.
The key is not to do too much.
Didn't you say you were feeling woozy?